What you must do at 30, the Stoic Guide to Becoming Unbreakable. You've reached 30. To some, that sounds like the beginning of decline. To others, it feels like you've just started climbing. But to the Stoics, 30 is neither the end nor the start. It's the turning point. It is the moment when illusions fall away and life demands something more from you. Not just potential, not just energy, but clarity, discipline, and a code. In your 20s, you wandered, tested, failed, learned, and stumbled. At 30, the time for wandering is over. Now begins the time for building, not just a career, not just a family, not just a reputation, but the time for building yourself. You don't control the economy. You don't control your past. You don't control what others think or say or expect, but you do control who you are becoming. And at 30, that is all that matters. 1. Embrace responsibility without excuses. The Stoics were clear. Greatness begins where blame ends. At 30, you must stop outsourcing your pain, your problems, and your potential. No more saying, "They did this to me." No more waiting for perfect conditions. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." At this age, you no longer look for who caused the fire. You become the one who walks through it, reshaped, not ruined. You take ownership of your time, your habits, your emotions, your growth. You are not a product of what happened. You are the architect of what comes next. 2. Build daily discipline, not occasional motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It rises with the sun and disappears with the rain. But discipline is eternal. At 30, your days are no longer defined by mood. They're defined by mission. Marcus Aurelius woke early and reminded himself that his purpose was not comfort, it was service. Service to reason, to truth, to something greater than impulse. If you train, you do it regardless of how you feel. If you read, you do it because your mind must be fed daily. If you work, you do it not for praise, but because it is your role to show up with integrity. You don't need inspiration, you need execution. 3. Define yourself by your values, not your status. By 30, society will try to define you. Your title, your salary, your car, your clothes. But the Stoic doesn't chase symbols. He chases substance. What matters is your code. Are you honest when it costs you? Are you calm when it's easier to rage? Are you courageous when you're afraid? Virtue is your foundation, not comfort, not applause, not trends. Epictetus said, "We should not be astonished if the surgeon's work is to cut, or if the carpenter's is to build, nor if the philosopher's is to suffer." This is your task now, to live not conveniently, but correctly. 4. Cut the noise. Curate your inner circle. At 30, friendship is no longer about convenience. It's about alignment. You are not here to impress. You are here to evolve. And you cannot evolve in the company of people committed to staying the same. Let go of those who mock ambition. Walk away from those who drain your energy. Reject those who trade in gossip and addiction and excuses. You are the average of your influences. If you walk with cowards, you will fear. If you walk with thinkers, you will grow. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your values, not your vices. Your circle must not be big. It must be true. 5. Stop being addicted to being liked. People will not understand you when you choose the Stoic path. They'll say you've changed, that you're too intense, too cold, too focused. Let them. The goal at 30 is not popularity, it's peace. And peace does not come from applause, it comes from alignment. You don't need to be liked, you need to be respected by yourself. That means being willing to be misunderstood, to walk alone, to say no without guilt, to choose what is right even when it is hated. Remember, sheep are liked, lions are respected. 6. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics trained their minds and bodies through preparation. They fasted when food was plenty. They walked in the cold. They imagined loss, hardship, and exile, not to suffer, but to become ready. At 30, comfort is no longer your goal. Discomfort becomes your edge. You train because softness is dangerous. You study because ignorance is lethal. You face rejection because silence is not strength. You push your limits because limits are illusions. You must now become harder than the world that awaits you. 7. Heal what hurts without letting it define you. Everyone reaches 30 carrying invisible wounds. Maybe your parents failed you. Maybe life betrayed you. Maybe you failed yourself. But you cannot build your future while worshiping your past. The Stoic does not bury emotion. He faces it with reason. He studies his scars not to relive them, but to learn. At 30, you stop being a prisoner of pain. You use it as a mirror. You use it as a forge. You use it as proof that nothing has broken you completely. You are not here to be whole because you were never hurt. You are here to be whole because you chose healing when pain was easier. 8. Master time or be devoured by it. Time is no longer a mystery. It is your most valuable asset. And the clock is not slowing. At 30, every wasted hour is not just lost. It's stolen from your future. Seneca warned, while we are postponing, life speeds by. You must schedule your priorities or they will be consumed by noise. You must say no more often than yes. You must wake earlier, work deeper, reflect longer, because the years ahead will not wait for you to figure it out. They belong to those who act. Don't let distraction be the thief of your legacy. 9. Think in decades, act in days. The Stoic is not obsessed with instant results. He plants seeds for a harvest that may take years. You must think beyond this week, this month, even this year. What man are you becoming? What are you building that will last when your youth fades? What principles will outlive your mistakes? At 30, you begin building legacy. Every word, every action, every choice echoes far beyond now. Build like you are going to live forever, but live like you could die tomorrow, because that is what the Stoic knows. The future is not promised, but it is shaped today. 10. Become the one others can rely on. At 30, you don't just live for yourself. You begin becoming a foundation for others. Your family, your team, your partner, your children, your community. You become the one who stays calm when others panic, the one who plans when others drift, the one who leads not because it's easy, but because someone must. The Stoic doesn't seek power, he seeks service. He becomes reliable not because he's perfect, but because he's consistent. You don't speak for attention, you act for impact. You don't pretend to know, you prepare. You don't wait to be asked, you show up ready. This is what the world needs now more than ever. People of strength, of values, of action. People who have crossed 30 and understand that adulthood is not about age, it's about ownership. You are 30. Now live like it means something. You're not young enough to be careless. You're not old enough to give up. You are exactly where you need to be to start living a powerful life. Don't try to relive your 20s. Don't try to fast forward to your 40s. Live now, with fire, with discipline, with vision. You are not a boy anymore. You are not a student of life. You are a builder, a leader, a philosopher of your own story. And every day you must rise with one thought. Let me live this day as a Stoic, brave, just, self-controlled, and wise. Because no matter what has happened, no matter what is coming, the Stoic does not fear the path. He becomes the one who walks it. And at 30, your true journey has just begun.